It's Week 15 of the NFL, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Colts and the Dolphins, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 22.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the sight of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. On to get it started now, the kicker Chris Boswell, and we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. They go play action now. Wilson. And his first look is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself a big. You give yourself.
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. It's a big play there for Miami.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them. Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here, too.
Yeah, just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 15-yard line. So they got the deal done, and now he can just focus on football. He's got that behind him. Family not going anywhere, staying put. He can focus on football.
And I like how you mentioned the family, because that's a huge part of it, because
touchdown! A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Flush to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Play action. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Chase Young in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. So now make that a second sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Sanders on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. That is caught. Josh Reynolds fighting his way through contact. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. A big play there for Indy. From the red zone now, Wentz. He's got the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. That catch good for only a couple.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past.
Touchdown, Colts. Clyde Edwards-Helaire hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts have got it back to a one-score game. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Those are the kind of they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy. And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make. Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Miles Sanders, touchdown number 15 of the year. So take away the touchdown, the official, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Miles Sanders, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Throwing his Wentz. He wants Reynolds way downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Now this throw caught left side. And out across midfield down to the 45. A big play there for the Dolphins. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Here's Wilson to throw. That's to Waddle on the quick slant. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another 1st down at the Colts 16.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here this 1st half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this 1st half. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well,
else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw on target to James. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Wentz. Flushed out right. Throw left side to Reynolds. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now Wentz. And this one caught by Travis Kelce.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw, it's Wentz. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st down, Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reynolds. Touchdown! Josh Reynolds, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Sanders on for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Wentz now to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Wentz's throw here pulled in by Lazard. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Wentz now on 1st down. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Again, it's Wentz. He's going to air one out. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Play action. Now Wilson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So you want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Carson Wentz and the Colt offense ready to go back to work. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Wentz now on first down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Wentz going to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Boy, he's got 2 already, nearly a 3rd, but not to be, and it's 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot.
And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Indy set to go on offense once more. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Chase Young in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has to get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
From the gun on third down, Wentz steps away to his left. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
2nd and 11 now. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chase Young in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Caught, Kelsey, left side. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Well, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, 56 yards. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. That catch good for only a couple. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. To throw is Wentz. Open man is Antonio Gandy Golden. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kenneth Murray able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Wentz. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
He'll drop that off to Edwards-Helaire. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Throwing on first is Wentz. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Willis. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Chase Young. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Chase Young in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense, that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
I notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described.
On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Brandon Jones picking it off. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Wilson wants to throw it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Taken in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. On 2nd and 10, Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.